All right, what's crapping in, people? We're here checking some chit out. We're here to talk about, we had an amazing event yesterday with Mara Machines.
Yes.
Whew!
Based out of Nashville.
Mamma mia.
They restore old MCI tape machines, and they stick exclusively to that because they got a good part stash, and they warranty them. They have, I think, a lifetime warranty, maybe even.
It wasn't a lifetime warranty.
Oh no, it wasn't.
It was lifetime support.
Lifetime support.
Roll the intro.
Checking chit out, checking chit out. We're checking chit out, we're checking chit out. We're checking chit out, we're checking chit. Todos los días me voy a olvidar.
All right.
All right. Yeah, one of these days we'll figure out how to make videos.
Yep. So Mara machines, like I was saying, MCI machines that have been refurbished. So they don't repair machines. They don't work on your tape machines, so don't call them for that. They do sell machines at a very reasonable price.
Insane value.
I think the 2 tracks were coming in around $6,500 to, you could have add-ons as well. And the multi-tracks were still just over 10 grand, 11 grand maybe, something like that.
I came in a little late, so I don't remember seeing the multi-tracks.
Super reasonable price for a machine that you can guarantee is going to work out of the box. And great support, super easy machine to service yourself.
Yeah.
The presentation was great. It was basically a presentation on a workflow using a DAW, Pro Tools in this case, with a 2-track tape machine. So you only had 2 tracks. The first part, we experimented just sending individual tracks, like a vocal track or a guitar track, to the tape, and just hearing what the tape did, and then re-recording it right back into Pro Tools. Super simple process. You don't have to synchronize the tape machine, anything like that. It's just, you hit play and record, you send the track, the level, and then you record it back into Pro Tools. And then once you open it back up in Pro Tools, all you have to do is adjust the new track that went through the tape because it's got to have a delay.
Yeah.
And the process was really easy. There's a quick key to make a marker right there at your first transient. So Pro Tools automatically sees that first transient. You do the same thing on the track that you just re-recorded through tape, and then you have it on a grid and you just snap it to the end of the grid, and bam, there you have it. They're locked.
Bam.
So it's a very quick process. And you could re-record over that same reel of tape over and over for quite a while before you have noticeable signs of degradation.
Yeah, it starts degrading.
The other thing we used it as was as a tape delay or echo. So that was great.
Yeah, I missed that part of the presentation.
That was super
that could
fun.
Have been fun.
Basically, all you do is you're re-recording from the tape, through the tape and back into Pro Tools, and instead of having it in fixed speed, you put it in vari speed. And when you put it in vari speed, you've got a knob that you can adjust to listen to how long a delay or short a delay you're going to get.
Yeah.
So really, really cool. And one of the features of the MCI machines is that they have a blinking LED on your vari speed, and it's set to blink a certain number of times for like a quarter, for like a eighth note or a quarter note, so it's got a built-in, like, if you want an eighth note delay, you have this many blinks.
And is that something MCI machines did back in the day?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was one of the reasons that that Mara machines chose MCI, that they were very engineer-oriented, serviceable, user-friendly, musician-oriented, engineer-oriented, and they were a U.S.-based company, so the parts, everything was made here. Eventually became Sony MCI, and Sony had a stab at tape machines too, which was awful. They never made it work. But the older MCI machines are stellar. They're great. And the third thing we did, so we had tracks that we just warmed up, right, by throwing them through tape. Then we could use it for delay or an echo. And then we used it as kind of a pre-mastering for your mixes. Like, you've got your mix finished, and now you're going to hit tape with it, and you can hit the tape at different levels to get different kinds of compression or saturation in there, and it really was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Really pretty amazing. And different speeds. If you're operating at 15 IPS, 15 inches per second, that's going to have a different response than the 30 inches per second.
Yeah. And then on top of that, too, we did demonstrations because I did catch that with quarter-inch and with half-inch.
Quarter-inch and
tape,
half-inch. Yeah, the half-inch, I believe, has a bump at like 80 hertz.
Yeah.
So when it's got a better low frequency response than the quarter-inch. It's just a bigger tape. And then the difference between moving at 15 and 30 again was pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
Some program material like the Lady Gaga stuff that was very well produced and very mastered. It was pretty tight.
Yeah.
Had a lot of extended bass in it, right? That sounded the best to us, I think, on the 30 IPS half-inch because that has the best bass response.
Yeah.
But if you play something on a 15 IPS machine, you're going to get bigger bass response than you do at 30. Not as clean. That's why the Lady Gaga stuff sounded better at 30. But some of the other stuff that was a little more raw, like the band stuff.
Yeah.
When we recorded that at 15 IPS, it really beefed up the bottom.
Yeah.
And it was really nice. But it wasn't trying to reproduce the extended bass of Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
so.
that Lady Gaga, like you could hear that 80 hertz bump, and because it was already so tight, it started to become a little too much. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty fascinating. And the fourth thing is they converted a tape machine into a margarita mixer.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. With two pitchers, so you can do two pitchers of margaritas at once.
That's just fascinating.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and like when you think of it in the grand scheme of things too, of like, in an efficient world that we're all like, recall sessions, it's just easier to do it digitally and use plugins and all that stuff. If you're going back to the project studios and stuff like that, if you're going to invest in some hardware and trying to go a little bit more down the analog route, it's like when you start thinking about it, like $6,500 for a tape machine that gives you things that you can use it in mastering, you can use it in mixing, you can use it as an effect.
That's right.
And it's like, name me some.
And once you've used it and you've printed it back into Pro Tools, then you're back to your normal workflow, the normal flexibility and recallability once it's done. And you've got something somebody else doesn't.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna lie, there's no plugin that does it. Now we're gonna do another Check This Chit Out soon. One of the ones we're gonna do is we're gonna bust into one of my machines. We're gonna record stuff into the machine. So we'll have the clean signal.
Yeah.
We'll have the through the tape machine signal, and then we're gonna use a tape machine emulator plugin to see how close, if at all, we can get to the actual sound of the tape machine.
Absolutely.
That'll be a fun one for sure.
And what tape machines do we?
I'm going to use the Studer A80.
Okay.
Half-inch.
And that's a classic.
two-track.
Like a lot of plug-in manufacturers have done models.
That's
of
right.
That. Yeah,
you should be able to find that in a plugin pretty easily.
I'm pretty sure Universal Audio has one.
Probably. If they do, they would probably be the best one.
Yeah, and then maybe the Slate environment has one too. And I know like Waves has the Ampex.
Right.
And that's like one that kind of industry standard.
Yep.
A little bit. And then maybe was it the J37 tape that they make as well?
I think that was that might have been an MCI.
Yeah. That would have been cool to compare it to with.
That would be the best one to get.
Yeah.
If we could get that, we got to figure that out.
Yeah,
If we use the plugin that replicates that machine. That would be the shit.
That would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of a little bit of a recap of the event.
Yep. Mara Machines.
And stay tuned for when we plug in that good old Studer.
Oh yeah, it's coming.
Take the Studer to the old Studebaker.
That's right.
Heck yeah. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, drop your comments down below, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Checking some chit out.
Check it out.
Checking chit out. We're checking chit out. We're checking chit out. We're checking chit out. Checking chit out. We're checking chit.